Welcome to this video on downloading Python and the PyCharm IDE, or Integrated Development Environment. If you're new to programming, then I'm going to show you how to do that. To download Python 3, get the PyCharm IDE, which is a way to work with Python, how to configure it so that PyCharm uses Python 3. Now, if you know Python and you know programming and you have your own IDE that you use, that's totally fine. You don't need to watch this video anymore. If you want to use Spider, the Spider IDE, you totally can. If you want to use Visual Studio, totally fine. But if you're new to programming and you don't know what to do, then this video will show you how to get set up with Python and the Python PyCharm IDE. All right, so it's a three-step process here. First, we need to download Python 3. I will point out now that Macs come with Python 2 installed, but we need to get Python 3, okay? The second step is to download the PyCharm IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment, which is basically just a program that helps you or facilitates writing Python code. It's a good one. I think it's very easy to add new modules or packages. And so that's why I'm going to recommend that one if you're new to programming. But again, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. You can use something else if you know what else to use. And then number 3 is configure the PyCharm IDE to use Python 3. Okay, so we have kind of two things going on here. We have the Python programming language, and we have the PyCharm integrated development environment that simply facilitates writing Python code. Okay, step 1, let's go get Python 3. So if you simply Google, or just you can write in python.org. Python.org is the website where you can get it, python.org, circling with my cursor there in my, my URL there, bar. And the second tab here is downloads there. And you can see it says download for Mac OS. In my case, I'm using Mac. The website should sense what operating system you have. And you click on the Python 3 point something. Here it's 3.91. Right, 3.9.1. It may be something different when you watch this video, and that's totally fine. But it should have a 3 as the first digit, and that lets us know that we're getting Python 3, which is what we need. So you click on that, and then it'll bring up a download box to download, the software. And so you go through the regular software installation process for your operating system, whether that's Windows or Mac. Okay, you click save, and then step through the let me show you step through the process. It'll download it, and then you open it up on Mac. You just click it here. On Windows, you'd go through like the setup wizard. Okay. I'm not going to do so now because I've already done so in the past, but you would just go through the regular installation process to install software on your operating system. Okay. So that's step 1. Step 2 is to get the PyCharm IDE. And so you can just simply Google PyCharm, one word, that is P-Y-Charm, all one word. And then the first hit should probably be it. Yeah, the first result here, PyCharm, P-Y-Charm, the professional IDE for professional, or the Python IDE for professional developers and for students. It's at jetbrains.com, kind of a funny name for the website, but that's the name of the company that makes this IDE. Okay, PyCharm. Here we are, and you can see right on the front page here it says download. I'm going to click on that download button with my mouse, and then it comes to the download page, and there are 2 options. On the left, we have the professional option, which is a paid software, paid program. There's a free trial, but we're just going to use the right one, the community one. This one on the right, it says community. It's a free version, and so there's no reason to pay for the professional one. We can just use the community one. Okay, so click on the download here on the right side, community version. And then after a few seconds, it should pop open the window to download the software. Okay. And again, you would save it to your hard drive and then go through the regular, oh, this is a massive file. Yeah, it's a big piece of software. So it'll take a few minutes to download and probably a few minutes to install once you go through the installation process. Okay, I'm not going to do so now because I I already have it on my hard drive, but you should go through the regular installation process for software to get the PyCharm ID installed. Okay, so that was step 2. And then step 3 is to configure PyCharm to use Python 3. So let me show you that. I'm going to open up PyCharm now, and there'll be a splash window here. In a second, there's a little splash window, and then it should bring up a project window, or it says it's called Welcome to PyCharm here, and it has various options. And we need to create a project. So PyCharm is based on projects. It's organized by projects. And within the project, you can have many files, many Python files, py files. By the way, py is the file extension for Python programs, Python's files. I don't know if you know, like with Microsoft Word documents, the extension is .docx. And for Microsoft Excel files, the extension at the end of the file name is .xlsx. Well, for Python files, it's .py. Okay. So first we need to create a project. And so we're going to come up here to this button on the top part of the window, new project. I'm going to click on new project. Now I'm in a new project window. Up there, the title, it says new project. And then the location here, the first little box here says location. And this is the location on my hard drive where it's going to save, where it's going to create a new project. It's going to create a new folder or directory. By the way, directory in computer speak and computerese, it means folder. Okay. So I will likely use those interchangeably. Once again, directory just means folder. Okay, so this is where it is on my hard drive. Okay, our hard drives are organized into like this hierarchical structure with directories or folders within directories and files within those. And anyway, so we need to just see that, okay, it's going to create a new directory there. And the last part after the last slash is the name of the project. And so I want to change that to something more transparent to me. Right now, the default is Python project. I'm going to change it to like Python Ling or something like that. Just so it's transparent to me that, okay, this is the project I use for Python, the Python class I'm taking, or whatever you want to do there, okay? Whatever you want to call it there. And then the next section is the Python interpreter. If it's not showing, you need to click on this arrow, this triangle that's pointing right. It should be exposed. That triangle should be pointing down so you can see all this in here. If it weren't, then you have to click on that arrow to, you know, to turn it downwards so that it exposes this, makes it visible to us. Okay, so now about a third of the way down this window, we see Python, or excuse me, base interpreter. Base interpreter right there. Right now it's sensed correctly that I want Python 3 point some number. And in this case, it says 8. Whatever number after that 3 point is fine. Again, if the first digit in the Python version is 3, then that's good. That's what we need it to say. If it says 2, then that's not, we should not use Python 2. Okay. Now, if it doesn't say Python 3 point something here, then come over to this down arrow and look at your options. Hopefully, PyCharm will sense that you just installed Python 3. And it should have an option here of Python 3. So just scroll down here and look for Python 3. Just get Python 3 point something, whatever that largest number is, right? In this case, I've got Python 3.9 there. I can see in the pathway, I got 3.9 there. But okay, so just find a Python 3 point something. Okay, I'll just click on this top one, Python 3.8. Now, if there were not a Python 3 point something available in that drop-down box I just showed you, this one right here, then you need to go find it on your hard drive. And the way you go find it on your hard drive is with this button to the right. It has 3 dots like an ellipsis there. Let me circle with my cursor right there. Once again, you only need to click on this ellipsis button if you don't see a Python 3 point something here in the drop-down box already. Okay, so if you don't, then you click on it, and then we have to go find it on your hard drive. let me go back to where it will probably default to like your users directory, capital USERS. It's probably where it'll default to. And now it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to do it on my hard drive because it'll be different on yours. But I guess I can point out on Macs that it'll likely be in the directory called USR, lowercase USR. There, I'm circling with my cursor. And within that, I'm going to click on it, that little down arrow to expose more directories in it. And then within it, there is a bin, B-I-N directory. I'm going to expose it with that little arrow there. Click on that arrow to show what's in the bin. Okay. This is for Mac, by the way. Again, this is for Mac. USR bin. I'm going to grab the scroll bar and come down to the PYs, where the PY options are. Okay, so here we are with PY. Okay, so here we have Python, Python 2, Python 2.7, Python 3. There's Python 3. Okay, that's what we want. We want Python 3. Okay, so once again, if you see Python 2 or Python 2.7 or some other just Python without any number, you should not click on those. You should click on the one that says Python 3 and click OK. And then, so now it should say Python 3 there. It has the full pathway, the /usr/bin/python 3. Good. And these options you can leave or change. I mean, you can check or uncheck there. It's not hugely important for us because I would recommend you only have one project for the whole class and just create a bunch of files for assignments and stuff. So anyway, these checkboxes really aren't important. Okay, then you come down here to create. The create button on the bottom right of the window, create. And it'll take a few seconds to prepare everything, get everything kind of set up with what's called a virtual environment. Just kind of let it do its thing here. And after it's done, it'll create a new Python file for us, a sample file called main.py. And it's downloading some stuff, unzipping some stuff, okay, installing, good. It's doing its work there. And then now it's done creating the project. And on the left-hand side of my screen, the left fourth or third of my screen, I see this navigation menu type thing over here. And it's highlighting main.py. So that's a Python file. And you can see that the option above it, let me circle with my cursor, is Python Ling, the name of the project I gave it back in that window, right? Python Ling right there. And it created a sample Python script or file, main.py. You can see that name here on the left-hand navigation area, as well as the top, where I'm circling now with my cursor, the top of the actual what's called source code or Python file. This is a sample Python script, and it shows you can use this keyboard shortcut, which is Control-R to run it. Here's a little bit of code. They define a function, and then they run the function down here. We can run this code. There's a couple ways to run code in PyCharm. One is, like they say, to hit Control-R. Probably the best way, cross-platform, meaning Windows or Mac, is come up to the Run menu. At the top of the program, right, we have Run, which is the fifth from right option there on the menu. And there are a couple ways, even within this menu, on how we can run this file. The first option is Run Main, which is the name of the file, right? The name of the file is main.py. We can hit that, click that, or we can come down to the fourth option. If by chance the top option did not say Run Main, we could come down to this fourth option and click Run ellipsis right there, where I'm highlighting in blue. Click that, and then it brings up a small little dialog box right there. And if there are more than one file, they would all be listed here. And we would click the one that we want to run, which is main. So I'll click it. And then after a second or less, it ran it, it finished running it. And down here at the bottom third of my screen now, it popped open what's called the console. And you can see that down here it says hi PyCharm, which is what it was supposed to do. So let's do something else. Let me highlight all of the code in the main.py file. I just did Control or Command A, and we can do print hello world. The print hello world program is the first one you do when you learn a new language, kind of a tradition. So as you can see, it's simply the word print, open parentheses, open double quote, hello world, closing double quote, closing parentheses. And I'm going to run this little script. Come back up to the run menu. You can click on the first option if it does say the name of the file you want to run, which is main in this case. Once again, if it did not show main as the first option, you could click on the fourth option now, which is run ellipsis, and then you click the name of the file that you want to run. Okay, then it showed down here in the console, it does print out hello world. Now, by print, up here in line 1 in the source file, print here in computer speak and computerese means show me in the console what I ask you to show me. Computer programs, Python is not going to show you stuff unless you say, hey, print out to me something, which means just display it down here in the console. It doesn't mean print, like print out to print a piece of paper to a printer, a physical printer next to my computer. That's not what print means here. It just means show down here in the console what I ask you to show me. All right, so we could change this to like, hola mundo. And then again, up in the run menu, you can see on the right side, there are keyboard shortcuts. So I'm going to use a keyboard shortcut, which is Control R to run it. And it ran it very, very quickly. And there it is, hola mundo down here in the console on the bottom part of my screen. Okay, so let me show you also how to create new Python files. I'm just using the sample one that they created that PyCharm created when I made a new project, which is called main.py. You can create new ones if you like. And there's several ways to do that, but I think the quickest, most direct way is to use your mouse and come over here on the left-hand side, and right on top of the name of the project that you created, which in my case was Python Ling, you take your mouse and you right-click on top of the project name, and then the first option is new, and then the fifth option there, Python file. Okay, let me just show you that again. If I want to create a new file, I come over here on the left-hand navigation part of the screen and I right-click on the name of the project. In my case, I called it Python Ling. First option down is new, and then you come down to Python file, like that. You click that. Then it's asking for a name. That little dialog box popped open. It's asking for a name. So I can maybe say assignment 01_Brown, my last name. You should give your last name, whether it's Johnson, Smith, Martinez, or whatever it may be. And make sure it says Python file, which it should say. It shouldn't have changed that. You click enter, hit enter on your keyboard. Now it created a new Python file. Up here you can see with my cursor is circling assignment 1_Brown.py. So this is a different Python file within the project. Again, so you can see on the left-hand side, it shows now we have two. We have main and assignment 1_Brown.py. These are both within this one project. So this is where you could do, your assignment, whatever you need to do. I have videos previewing assignments, but this is how you could create new Python files that you could then turn into the CMS for your assignments. Okay. And so I'll just do something here. Let's go hi in Danish for fun. And let me go up to run. And you can see again that it's saying, do you want me to run main? Well, I don't want to run main. I want to run assignment 1 now. So I'm going to come down here and click the fourth option, run, and assignment Brown. And now we have hi down here in the console. Okay, so what I want to show you is how to know where on your hard drive it actually saved this thing. Let me, right there, if I come up to the name of the file that I want to know where it is on my hard drive, For example, assignment1_brown.py. If I right click it, and then down here it says copy pathway, absolute pathway right there. First option, absolute pathway. You can see it, but it also actually just copies it for you, so you can know where it is on your hard drive. Let me come back to my little document here and just paste it. So this is where on my hard drive, this hard drive in front of me, this assignment01_brown.py file is located. Okay, so this is the full pathway. This is how you can find it. Okay. Let me back up and show you, if you're using Windows and you come up, let's see, where can I start? Let me go back here and show you. If you do a new project, you're at this point where we're going to go back a couple steps here. Back at this point where it says new project, we're going to click new project. Now, if you're using Windows, this where I showed you to find the executable in the USR. Let me just get back up there. It's probably not. It's not going to be here. I don't think Windows even has that type of directory USR. So what you need to do, probably the easiest way is to open up a Windows Explorer window, and in the search box in the top right corner of the Windows Explorer window, you're going to search for python.exe, lowercase python.exe, if you're on a Windows machine, Windows computer. It'll take a couple minutes or more to search all of your files on your hard drive looking for this one file. And that's where you would need to, that's the file you need to point to if you need to use the 3 dots here on a Windows. Windows Explorer will show you, once it finds it, it'll show you the full pathway, kind of like this, where it shows you the full pathway on your computer where it is, right? But it would say something like, exe down here, or Python exe down here. And you need to make note of that. And within PyCharm, come in here and with those 3 dots and find it on your hard drive using, this file system navigator. Once again, you only have to do the 3 dots. You only have to click the 3 dots button if you don't see a Python 3 in this drop-down box, which hopefully you would after installing Python 3 from python.org. Okay, so that is a quick rundown of how to get up and running with Python and PyCharm. Okay, now if you get stuck and you can't make it work, just come into my office hour or send me an email. I'll try and help you from afar, but it'd be best if you can come into my office hour so I can look at your screen and like say, okay, click here, now let's go here, type of thing. Okay, so that brings us to an end of this video on installing Python and PyCharm. Again, please let me know if you need help or come into my office hour to get help. See you next time.